Hello, I'm Jerry Roodhouse. I've been a local councillor here in Rugby for a long time. For years I've been talking about the patient experience, representing people, fighting for their voices to be heard by the NHS. They're dealing with some pretty tough health issues, so they should feel secure, respected, like a human being on their journey. Now it's happening to me. The question I still keep asking myself is OK really good enough? My journey started when I had just come back from London celebrating our golden wedding anniversary, and I had an ache. An 8 AM call to the GP, and I managed to get a same day appointment. On examination with the GP, he found enlarged prostate. So it was a referral straight to Walsgrave UHCW. At the first urology appointment, the language was, well, it was blunt. Leaflets were handed over, but there was no sense of how long I'd have to wait for answers. And then all the tests came, the MRI, the CT, the nuclear medicine, which is a PET scan, colonoscopies. So the doctor in endoscopy told me to keep soldiering on, and that has stayed with me. More bloods were taken because the PSA hadn't been taken initially, and then another one because the lab messed up, 3 in total. A biopsy was also needed, and the biopsy date came in, and I went into day surgery. One nurse even said while I was lying there, ready for the procedure, legs in the air, vulnerable, nervous. The nurse actually said to me, "We're 90% sure it's cancer." And you know, that moment never leaves you. It's the waiting, the worst part. So there's no time frame, there's no support. And mentally, you know, it's a battle. And I wasn't prepared for that battle. And after 2 long weeks, we got the call to come in. It was 9:30 in the morning, and I was in with the consultant with my wife Sue. And we were in there for no more than 30 minutes to be told that I have a rare small cell cancer. And he had only come across 5 people before. My wife tried to take notes, but was told that a nurse would do that, only to receive 2 words written down, which we couldn't read. The nurses gave us more leaflets. Not one of them was relevant to where we live. They went on about the fun things we could do, which I'd still be able to do. As I was realising that my life would now be a lot shorter, and they were talking about walking football when I don't even like football, it didn't land well. I kept asking myself, this is about me, not their leaflets. Where is the kindness? And where is the compassion? Does the patient voice matter at all? I had to chase down the appointment with oncology, and this time at last I got some clarity, some honesty, an explanation that I could actually understand. I was introduced to my Macmillan nurse Betty, who will support both my wife and me through the whole of this process as we do this journey. In between all of this came the letters with my full diagnosis, which I'd not been told about. I have small cell neuroendocrine carcinoma, stage 4. I then had to do my own research about this rare cancer, and I came across the Neuroendocrine Cancer UK charity, which has a lot of resources and support. I was to have chemotherapy to start with, and was put on a palliative care route. Appointments were made at Walsgrave UHCW. I asked because luckily I already knew, can I have this at Rugby St Cross at the Maple unit? And they realised that I could. It hadn't occurred to them to consider my convenience in the first instance, but although it meant rewriting the forms and changing the drug to be used, I was able to have the chemo nearer to home. It was in the Maple unit at St Cross where I was shown kindness, patience, and yes, a little bit more humanity. And that proves something important. The right words can hold you together. The wrong ones can break you. And at every step I had to ask, can this be done in Rugby? But nothing was offered locally unless I pushed. A 30-minute drive, a 40-minute wait, £5.40 to park, and my wife doesn't drive. Is this really good enough for Rugby residents? I've spent years speaking up for patients, and now going through this myself, I can tell you, the patient voice is not a nice to have. It's not a leaflet. It's not a tick box. It's the difference between fear and understanding, between trauma and dignity, between coping and breaking. Nobody prepares you for the mental strain of living in those two worlds that you start to live with, my treatment palliative world and then my everyday world. Learning to live in the day and not to make plans, but ensure you enjoy each moment with your friends and your family. If this was your partner, your parent, your child, would okay be good enough? I'm sharing my story so that people can feel that they are not alone. If you have a story too, or know someone who does, I encourage you to share it with Healthwatch. If you have neuroendocrine cancer or another cancer, then look up the charities or join their chats. Together, our voices can make a real difference. And remember, you are not alone.